Since I've been speaking to people for the past 2 weeks, nobody has told me that what they know, or that they know what the student office does. I've spoken to one person who works in the office. He tells me that they get about 1 walk-in per day, and then I asked him, so it doesn't sound like you do much, and he told me, nope, we don't. And that means nobody is coming to this office. I propose being out there all the time. I want to reach out initially during orientation, any initial contact that the students have with the school, and let them know that this office is there for them. It is there to be like a liaison between the students and the administration. At least it should be. And I mean, it just needs to be out there. Invite them to come in. I'm just going to encourage them to come and see me first when anything happens, because I mean, in other places on campus, they get like referred to links that are most likely broken and whatnot. Like, I would be out there doing the best to encourage people to voice what they rightfully should be expressing.
So I just want to, I've been in the office for 3 years now, so full disclosure. Talking about what I'd like to do involves a lot of what I've done in the past. I serve as the chief of staff currently to the current student advocate, Kelly Fabian. So to just first of all, to answer what Ronald brought up, we do get more than 1 walk-in per day, so just to clarify that, and I don't want to sound like I'm defending that, but we do end up with about over 100 cases every semester that we handle via walk-in or via emails as well. So I do feel like that's a little bit of misrepresentation, but I do understand that our visibility on campus, the student advocate's office, is not as high as a lot of the other executive offices. Part of that is because the work that the office does is confidential, so it's hard to advertise that. However, I do propose 3 different ways in which I would like to increase the visibility of the office. The first of which is through preventative measures. That's something that doesn't need to be confidential. We can go out and put on workshops that teach people how to prevent the very issues that they get involved with that can cause trouble, such as putting together workshops on financial aid so you file for financial aid correctly to begin with, putting together workshops on how to avoid getting into academic dishonesty situations, and also creating awareness around campus and communities that are targeted in student conduct issues. The second idea I had in mind would be to do point of target publicity. It's hard to advertise on Sproul to say, hey, if you get in trouble with campus, come to us, because people don't really care about it until they're actually in trouble. So I want to make sure that the student advocate's office's material is available in all the areas where students usually go when they are in trouble. So that means the Center for Student Conduct, Financial Aid Office, all the academic offices, and any general area like UCPD and any other area like that. The final area that I want to work at is the policy side of things, and advocating on a broad range of structural policies that affect the students. In that area, we can really publicize that work and increase the visibility of the office and engage the entire campus in that. Thank you.
Furthermore, to raise awareness of the office itself, I'm going to be proposing or setting up some forums for undocumented students, which are one of our biggest concerns. It would be there for students to come in, share experiences, hopes, raise awareness, and empower each other. And it can be confidential, and I think other people would be very welcome allies of undocumented students. And in that way, the voice is heard, and people know about the office and what it can do, and really use it. And then the second one would be a similar forum for underrepresented minorities that are sharing these fundamental issues that then lead to the student conduct issues and everything that follows. So the forums and then the initial conflicts. If I had been student advocate during the WeWork process, I know that my running mate Katie would have definitely been peering for me. She was part of the Wheeler Hall demonstrations, and she never heard from the student advocate. I would be mostly concerned with these kinds of issues of testing and being out there, supporting the students, making sure that they're being protected. And I do have people that would be in the office that would help me with the legal issues, and I have lots of support, and lots of resources that could be used to of course, to deal with the student conduct issues and other issues.
So I think the issue of conduct reform on campus really highlights one of the changes that I would like to make with the office, which is to continue ensuring that the office advocates on a structural, policy-wide basis, as opposed to only on a case-by-case basis. I think I've actually taken direct action when it comes to conduct reform because I've served this past year on a task force made up of administrators, student leaders, and faculty members to work to rewrite and revise the student code of conduct. On that note, I can talk really briefly about my issues that I feel that come up with the code of conduct. I've been involved with the code of conduct for 3 years, which goes back longer than the Wheeler Hall protest. I think the Wheeler Hall protest has done an excellent job of showing how before the conduct process is run and how many holes there are in it. But those processes problems that affected all students that have been involved in the issues. The main issues I have with it are consistency. No matter how flawed the code is written and it's applied in a very inconsistent manner as it is because of lack of resources and because of just lack of making sure to follow precedent from the past. The second area is more of a philosophical manner. I think that there's a bit of a disconnect between the area of how the student is investigated and then the resolution process. You can have a very legalistic and due process-oriented manner of investigating a student in which they're consistently held to the same level of scrutiny, and then also then have a very strict and legalistic method of coming up with resolutions for them. And you can also have a very educational-oriented model in which the student is involved in the discussion, and then the resolutions have more educational alternative forms of resolutions. Unfortunately, right now, I think students are suffering because there's a disconnect. We have a very educational, investigative procedure in which students don't have much due process rights and are always confused and led to inconsistent processes. And on the other side, they have a very legalistic and very hard-line process in which they're given resolution to be sanctioned. So I would like to come to some balance.